I'm gonna tell you a secret I found out when I was doing this case. It's extremely upsetting. If you are a food lover, you know those food stands you see in Asia where just really, really good food and a lot of people making it?
Each of these hawker stores sells pretty much one dish, and they've been perfecting it for generations.
Yeah, they're not actually mom and pop owned and been doing it for 30 years. They might just be owned by a few big corporations. I was so shocked when I found out that day. I think I ate like a cold sandwich. Hi everyone, my name is Joseph. I'm the managing partner here at Tsang and Associates, where we solve legal problems with creative solutions. So the legal problem is that there's a lot of restaurants that need good chefs. I mean, it kind of goes without saying, of course, but you don't know how difficult it is actually to bring in and keep a really good chef. They are so fluid, they leave and they take all their industry knowledge with them, and then to train somebody else to cook another meal that's just as good, it's actually super hard. The pay is super low. So how do you attract really good talent and then be able to keep them when the restaurant industry is so cutthroat? So this group of restaurant entrepreneurs hired our firm to come up with a business plan that's able to bring over a ton of really good executive chefs from Asia specifically. The business plan we created for them was a restaurant consulting business. The entire purpose of this company is to send out their executive chefs and the teams that they have trained to local restaurants to help them cook better, to organize their kitchen better. It's like Bain and McKinsey for restaurants. The idea is fairly simple. An executive chef from Asia who's extremely talented, manages a lot of people, who knows that menus inside and out, and knows how to source the latest equipment. They come over to the US, not as a tourist, but as a E-2 employee, or as an O1, or as an L1, and they come here to work for this restaurant business. They're able to train first-line associates how to do everything, give a quick review of everything they are doing inefficiently, the better equipment that they can purchase for cheap with them because they have the sources and the correct techniques to make everything flow much more efficiently. Because the restaurant industry, frankly speaking, it's so individualized. Each restaurant owner, each chef almost has their secret way of doing things, and it's all in that chef's head, and they're not really organized. There's no menu, there's no recipe. So when they leave, how are you gonna find somebody else to replace? And the customers get dissatisfied and the restaurant owners starts to lose money. It's an extremely broken system as it is. So if we have this consulting business, then everything could be much more standardized. They're able to help their own restaurants so that they can always have the best menu and the most efficient practice to do things and the best equipment to get everything done. We created this E-2 consulting business and we're able to bring in a bunch of executives from overseas to be able to do these consulting. In this case, the business plan was fun, it was very interesting, it was new, but it wasn't hard. I would say the hardest part about doing this case was actually the investment part, because these executive chefs don't have a lot of money. These restaurant entrepreneurs, they are not citizens of these treaty countries, right? If they were from Israel or Japan themselves, then it would have been a lot easier because they could just open up the business, they themselves own it 100%, and then they have E-2 employees. But unfortunately, they were US citizens, so we had to find a way to loan the money to these executives overseas, and then for them to invest it into the US business, and then for them to come and then to start their business. It was this long, convoluted way. It's a lot of contracts and drafting and loan agreements and promissory notes flying back and forth in order for the funds to transfer correctly. But eventually they got the angel investment and they got it secured for a low interest rate, and then they were able to invest it into the business here for a guarantee in the stake of the business as a E-2 owner, and then they were able to run this business, and then the business is able to thrive, and then everybody wins. The restaurants that they're consulting is booming, the restaurant consulting business is booming, and the customers are very happy because the same ramen soup will always taste just as good. I love food, I love restaurants, I love business plans, and I love E-2 business plans that's related to food and restaurants. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Talk to you later.